Congressional Senator Fischer, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, General Walters, for your many years of service. Thank you, General Ovost, for being here today as well. General Walters, in your prepared testimony, you note the importance of our nuclear deterrent, and in particular our non-strategic nuclear weapons that are forward deployed in Europe. Can you talk a bit more about their importance and the support that our allies have for this mission?
Senator, what nuclear strategic deterrence offers is tough to communicate to our European partners, and over the course of the last several years, they've all gained a greater understanding of the freedom of maneuver that the strategic nuclear deterrence umbrella provides those nations in Europe. And with contributions from the European nations with respect to allowing the facilitation of non-strategic nuclear weapons, I feel that Europe is in a much better place to effectively defend and deter.
Thank you. Can you also talk about the support that our allies have shown for the additional 4 battle groups and the level of interest you've seen from them in participating, please?
The participation has been very, very strong. The level of interest continues to increase, and it corresponds with nations' voluntary national contributions that continue to mount, specifically in those 4 battle groups in Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria, and Slovakia. The campaign momentum to build those minimum battalion-sized battle groups with all domain capability is improving with every day.
And also, many of our NATO allies are talking about increasing their defense spending, I think basically in response to the Russian invasion that we've seen in Ukraine. We've seen countries in NATO, our allies, come together and pledge to reach that 2%. Some have even pledged to go higher. Can you tell us how you are working with our allies and partners to ensure that the additional sources are really focused on the right capabilities that are needed?
I can, Senator. We have a strategy. We have plans that ultimately allow nations to identify military requirements that contribute to delivering the appropriate effect in the environment to ensure that we can better defend. So now you have in print the appropriate connective tissue that allows the taxpayers in all the European countries to understand why it is they're committing the euros to what cause to generate the appropriate defense, the appropriate effect to have better defense.
Is the United States participating not just with the alliance as a whole, but with individual countries in trying to determine just what is needed where, what type of capabilities are needed where when you look at the entire alliance?
Senator, the U.S. is, and so are the other 29 nations of NATO, and that's part of the great aspect of having an alliance like NATO. There's a lot to be learned when you are willing to listen to Estonia's needs, and we do, and we learn a lot, and they listen to ours from a U.S. perspective.
Are you hopeful that the alliance will continue to work well together, that there's a new understanding about the threats that are out there? I have deep concerns about the classified briefings that we have, and all of that information is not available to the people of this country. I think if we could see some material that would be declassified and be able to share with the citizens of the United States, there really would be a deeper understanding, more concern felt when the population understands the threats that are out there. And I can see that happening in Europe, but it took an invasion for it to happen. How are we going to address that?
Senator, I'm hopeful and confident that the degree of cooperation amongst the NATO nations will continue. And looking back to how we approach this campaign and the degree of intelligence sharing and information sharing and the impact that it had on building trust amongst nations was very, very powerful. And we need to continue that practice.
I think we need to continue it in this country as well, so that the people in the United States understand the very real threats that we face to our national security. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Senator Fisher.